Good afternoon, everyone. Nice to meet you. This is Scarlett E from Huawei Philippines local office. It's a great pleasure for me to share with you something about Huawei and what we have done for the past years in 5G. Firstly, let me introduce myself. I have been working in Huawei for almost 11 years, since I graduated from university in 2010. In the first years in Huawei, I worked in China region as business and network consultant. And at that time, there was only 2G and 3G, so my main responsibility is to help the operators to migrate more 2G users to 3G and to improve the customer's experience, and also, meanwhile, to improve the operators' revenue. So then I was transferred to headquarters in China, Shenzhen in 2013. Over the nearly 7 years in headquarters, I worked as a marketing expert. I engaged with more than 200 CEOs and chairmen from the global operators, listened to their opinion and show them that Huawei leading solutions and help them the business success. Meanwhile, I got a chance to show Huawei leading position and solutions to the kings and the president of some countries for the past years. So last year on July, I was transferred to Huawei Philippines local office as marketing head. I say that the Philippines local ICT market has great potential. This is the really young country, actually the youngest one in Asia Pacific, top 8 population countries. The median age here is only 25.7 years old, and we spend the longest time on the social media compared with other countries in Asia Pacific, especially through the mobile devices. We can see that the mobile communication like 3G and 4G has brought great benefit to our lives. We can buy things even during the pandemic. We can buy things from the Lazada e-commerce. We can pay by Gcash. We can take videos and pictures and share to our friends from the social media anytime, anywhere. And now we see that 5G is here. You can enjoy much more higher speed with global 5G network and a lot of new services through your 5G smartphone. But actually 5G is not just for the consumer. It can enable the whole industry. So that's why we say that the 4G changes life and can change society. Even though there are a lot of practices for the past 3 years from the global market like South Korea, China, and Europe, and even in Asia Pacific, but still we see that there are still a lot of things we need to do and a lot of problems need to solve. So especially from the ecosystem point of view, because now we see that the more ecosystem partners are more from other countries like South Korea and especially China. So we see that we need more local applications and local innovations from the local Philippines market. So the question is there any killer application for 5G? Is it the VR, AR, or MR? And how the 5G enable the vertical industry? So I think through this 5G hackathon, it is really a good opportunity for us to incubate and develop our local capability of 5G ecosystem. And we can say that let's do this together to enable the digitalization of the Philippines. So in my topic, I will introduce some of the basic information about Huawei. I hope that you can know us better after my introduction. And secondly, I will introduce what kind of 5G solution we can provide to help the operators to improve their efficiency and also to quickly deploy the 5G base stations. And last but not the least, I would like to share with you some of our practices in 5G business use cases, including 5G B2C to the consumer and also 5G B2B to the vertical industries. Okay, let me share with you the screen. So we have 3 main content here. Firstly is the Huawei at a glance, some basic information. And then I did some research on the Philippines local ICT market. And thirdly is something about Huawei Philippines local office. So You know that our company was established in 1987, so this is almost more than 30 years. And then our mission and vision is to bring digital to every person, home, and organization for fully connected and intelligent world. Actually, this is the new mission and vision from 2000 at the beginning of 2018. Before that, our vision and mission is to enrich people's lives. So we changed this vision and mission because we think that in the future world is everything connected, everything sensing, and everything intelligent. So that's why we changed our vision and mission to the new one, because we believe that in the future everything will be intelligent, connected. So we are going to connected everything and provide our digital solutions to every person, home, and organization, and even in every car. So for the past more than 30 years, we connected more than 3 billion people around the world and built more than 1,500 networks in more than 170 countries and regions. So for the partners, actually, especially for the digital transformation, we have more than 200 from the Fortune 500 companies. And here are some numbers about our company, especially for the employees. 2 years ago, our total employees members is around 180,000. So you see that for the past 2 years, this number increased to almost 200,000. And especially the R&D engineers nowadays is 96,000. So you see that almost 50% are from Huawei, are from R&D. And 2 years ago, this number is around 25%. So you can see that even under the great pressure of the outside environment, but still we focus on the innovation, and still we focused on the R&D investment, because we see that this is like a marathon race. So we need to focus on the heavy investment to keep leading and keep innovation in the whole industry. And maybe you have a question that for Huawei, what kind of solutions and what we do, what kind of things and business we can provide to our customers. So this is Huawei strategy focus. Actually, for the past 30 years, we still focus on the ICT infrastructure and smart devices. So who are our customers? Firstly, the hundreds of millions of consumers like you. If you buy a Huawei smartphone or the wearable devices like the watch, or even some the TV or some the routers, then you are our customers, because you are one of our consumer business customers. And another one is the carriers, like here in Philippines, like Globe is our strategic partner, and the PLDT and the Ditto. And also the enterprise business, like the Jollibee, the bank, the BOC, the BPI, BDO, and so on, and also the cloud business. So everything we do is to focus on the information. So you can see that from the information entrance, we provide the devices, and then the information transmission, we're providing the connectivity, like the networks, 4G, 5G, the fiber to the home networks, the fixed networks, and also the computing, like the Huawei cloud, the public cloud and the private cloud, and the storage, like the because storage is where the data stored. So this is what we do, and what we can provide to our customers. Still focus on the ICT infrastructure and smart devices. And like I mentioned at the very beginning, every year actually we spend around 15% of total revenue on R&D. So we can see from the left side of the picture, for the past 10 years, we invested more than $100 billion US. And every year we spend 10 to 16% of annual revenue on R&D. And in the next 5 years, we will invest more than 100 billion in the R&D. So you see that for the past 10 years, we already invested more than 100 but only in next 5 years, we will invest more than 100 billion. So this is a lot. Actually, the last year is around 22 billion US dollars. And here is this is the statistics from the Europe Commission. So in 2015, we're still in ranking number 15, but in 2019, we already in the number 5. But last year, you see here, we are in the R&D investment, we are in the number 3. So the first one is the Google Alphabet, and the second one is the Microsoft. So you see here, the Samsung, Apple, and Intel, and Cisco, Nokia, and Ericsson. They are, I think, if you combine Ericsson, Nokia, and Cisco together, it's less than the investment. Totally investment in R&D is less than Huawei. So from this slide, you can see that actually our long-term strategy is to persist and heavily investment in R&D, because this is the way to leading in the industry, especially from the innovation point of view. Okay, so because today's the topic is the 5G innovation, so I want to share with you something about the 5G, because we studied this innovation from 2009. So we are the first one to start research on 5G, and we see that the 5G patents, we have more than 6,000 families of 5G patents, ranked number 1. And we already invested 5.5 billion US dollars in 5G research. And in our Huawei company, actually, we have more than 7,000 basic research experts. But if you print our 5G proposals for 3GPP, you see here, if we print it on full A4 paper, it is more than 10 meters high. So that is the 3 layers of the building. So this is about our research on 5G. So the result is our product, for example, the 5G base stations. This is the 5G blade, we call it blade active antenna unit. So traditionally, if you pay attention to the towers, you see that there are lots of antennas around the tower, because traditionally, if you build a 2G network, you need to build the 2G base stations and antennas. If you add on 3G, so another one 3G base stations and 3G antennas, 4G another one. So in the 5G, maybe there's no enough space for the tower to build the 5G base stations. So what we can do, so we have the innovation that we combine the 2G, 3G, and 4G, 5G together in one base station, in one site. So that means only one site can cover all the 2G, 3G, and 4G, and 5G together. So it can greatly shorten the time to market and also to save the tower space. So this one, actually we called the active antenna unit, is the 2 years ahead of the industry in the 5G solutions. And for the past 2 years, actually, for the global market, there are a lot of operators already deployed the 5G in a large scale. So this is the source from the Ookla in the beginning of this year in January. Actually, the top 10 5G large scale 5G networks. We see that in Huawei, we are the number 1 5G network experience. So no matter in Seoul, no matter in Dubai, Zurich, Berlin, Madrid, or Barcelona, Hong Kong, and Amsterdam, so we're still the number 1 to support the local operators to get the best experience. And what's more, because the 5G is already here, so what's more for the future? Actually, we already started the research of the 6G, and also we launched last year. We launched the 5.5G, because this is the continuous investment for the future. We define the 5G, 5.5G in the new 3 scenarios, and also we unify the standards with the 3GPP for the 5.5G. And so later on, I would like to introduce some of my research on the local Philippines market. So firstly, we see that the technology is the key to drive the industrial revolution. So we see that from the first industrial revolution is the steam engine. At that time, in the 1718 to 1845, then the UK became the first, the center of the whole world, or the center of the whole economy because of the steam engine. And then moved to the Germany because of the railway sustainment of the combustion of engine. And then for the because the second revolution is the electricity, and then the third revolution is the information technology. So the center of the economy moves from Germany and then to the US. So nowadays is the fourth industrial revolution because this is the intelligent technology. So we see that nowadays the center of the economy moves from US to US plus East Asia. So we see that previously there are many the big companies from the other countries like the West Europe and America, but now more and more companies from East Asia like Samsung, like the Alibaba, Tencent, and Sony, and also Huawei. So the companies from East Asia plays more and more important role in the whole world. So what is the next 20 years? So the big data, the AI, the intelligent technology will play more important roles. So who will be the next center of the whole economy? So we believe that we see that the technology is the key driven for the industrial revolution, but so the policy support and also investment in the Thailand and R&D and the cutting edge technology are the key to drive this industrial revolution. So here are some big events in the Philippines ICT industry. We see that the mobile user penetration already more than 100%, and the 4G penetration you see here is almost half. So that means half of the mobile users, they use the 4G. And from the 1928, PLDT established, and then 7 years later, Globe also established. And then we see that for the whole industry in the our Philippines market, there are more and more operators coming, and then we combine and merge them together. So we see that especially from the mobile revolution, mobile communication point of view, still we have a great potential, especially here. We see that our 4G penetration is only 0.5%, but actually in Thailand and in Malaysia, they already more than 70 and 80%. So if you're going to catch to that level, we still have great potential. And this is something about the digital economy, because we see that the ICT technology is the core engine of the Philippines digital economy. And this is a report from the Economy Southeast Asia 2019. We see that for the past 4 years, from 2015 to 2019, we see that digital economy increased 2.5 times from 2 billion to 7 billion. And especially from the e-commerce and online travel, online media, and ride-hailing. But from the next 5 years to 2025, we see that the digital economy will improve from 7 billion to 25 billion, almost 2.6 times. And especially we see that the e-commerce increased 3 times. So we see that Filipinos' digital economy grows rapidly for the past years, and the future growth space is promising. So we have a great potential. And from the mobile internet, we see that it's really fast developing. And the internet users, mobile internet users, online payment, especially the Gcash. We see that the Gcash, the active user already, registered users already, more than 30 million. So this is the huge number actually. So that means more and more people use the Gcash to pay. And the smartphone penetrations are almost more than 17. And we see that in the local market, there are more and more affordable smartphones as the Chinese device entered like Xiaomi, like Realme, and like Huawei. So, and the network is the foundation because the wide 3G coverage and the 4G coverage, especially nowadays the 5G coverage, is the foundation to enable the digitalization. And we see that in the Philippines local market, actually the ICT talent is catching up, especially like you, because you are from the universities and even from the high schools, and you are quite talent to develop the 5G applications for the whole ecosystem. So we see that the world talent ranking from 55, and then move to 49. And also the science graduate ratio is the 13th, the ratio of the 28.4%. So that means you see that the general ranking is 49, but with the science graduate, we are in the 13th. So, and there are a lot of local internet startups booming, like the Anclas, the Pundits. There are a lot of, from the e-commerce way, and also some startups. So we hope that we can do more, especially we can have more events like the 5G hackathon, that we can incubate more more innovations, and also to incubate more applications or the for the whole ecosystem. So for Huawei, from our point of view, because we are in the local Philippines, so our target is in Philippines, for Philippines, and persistent long-term investment in the local market to better support Philippines digitalization. So thirdly is something about Huawei Philippines. So as our company's mission and vision, also here in Huawei Philippines, we also going to bring digital to every person in Philippines and every home and organization for fully connected and intelligent Philippines. So here, some key messages for our local office. Actually, our Huawei Philippines established in 2002. So next year will be our 20 years anniversary. And currently we have more than 620 staffs. So you see that, pay attention to this. So 61% are local staff, because we hope that we can attract more local staff, and then they can join us and to contribute more. And also we can, from the different culture from Huawei, China, and also the culture from Philippines, we can combine them better to contribute more for the local Philippines market. And also our base is in Makati and BGC here, so 11 offices are covering 5 regions. And also we have the one exhibition hall in our local office. Actually, I am responsible for that. So we have some visitors from the online or the offline to visit our exhibition hall to have some dialogue with them about our leading solutions. And also we have the one training center. So local job created by Huawei, actually more than 10,000. So this is at a glance of Huawei Philippines local office. Actually, according to align with our business from the headquarters, actually in the Huawei Philippines local office, we also have 4 different business groups. Firstly is the carrier business, and I think globeph is our very important strategic partner. And also for the consumer business, the mobile users and the smartphones, and especially nowadays we are focusing on all scenarios, devices like the TV vision, the big TV, and also the wearable devices like the watch and the band, and also the earphones. So for the enterprise business, actually we are having the digitalization for all industries like the government and also the SM, the enterprise, the BDO, and so on. So also the cloud services. So in different solutions and scenarios, we are providing a full stack innovation and also the hybrid cloud. So this is some of our key partners together in the Philippines local office. And here, actually, this is for the enterprise, because maybe you know that our main services here is the carriers, but actually we have the business for the enterprise, like the smart cities, like the financial institutions, the highways and railways, and the oil and the gas companies, and the manufacturers, and the electric power companies, and so on. So for the leading companies, we have more and more partners last year, from 2028 to 2053, from the global Fortune 500. And the last one is our contribution to the whole society in the Philippines. This is the program, the future seed for the future, the seeds for the future. So currently we are cooperating with the local 31 universities for the upskill ICT talent for better Philippines. I believe that some of you are our, future state. Maybe you also joined the program of our Huawei Future State. So you see here, this is some of the universities that we cooperate together. And also, then for the future state, they will have, before the pandemic, actually, they have the chance to visit our Huawei local in headquarters. They will have 2 weeks. 2 weeks journey. 1 week is the Chinese culture tour. You see that the in the Great Wall here, in the Great Wall, and also the Summer Palace. And also another week is for Huawei company tour. Because I mentioned that for my self-introduction, I worked in headquarters actually. I received and I met a lot of future states from the different countries. So they will have the chance to know Huawei better, and also they will have the chance to learn the communication technology, especially the leading communication technology. So this is really good for them. And that's the 5 years. We already started the program for the 5 years in Philippines. And another one is the ICT talent development, also cooperating with the following university like DLSU, the USCP, and so on, and the MAPUR and the PUP, and so on. So we have the program for the training, especially for the teachers and the students. So firstly, it's the lecture, and we have the demonstration and also hands-on access for free. And also we have the free lab provided by Huawei for them to know more and deeply technology about the communication. And also we have the e-lab and LVC for the multimedia live classroom. And also later on, after that program and the training, then we have the exam voucher and special incentives for exam. And then we will have the certification for the globally recognized, but only some of the talent, ICT talent, can get the certification, because this is really strict. And here are some social company social responsibility that we have in the Philippines. For example, this is the rural star, because sometimes if you are just in the BGC, that you can see the network is really good, but in some rural areas, then the network is really, very difficult to deploy. So that's why we have the rural star, which means they are especially the base stations, especially for the rural areas. For example, we have the donation in Zamblers and provide a network connection, because we hope that everyone in the world can be connected. No one should leave behind. And also the digital academy. So for the ICT self-learning program, and also the reinforced protection with the leading ICT technology with the AI and also the IoT. And this is the Save the Sea program to also use the IoT and AI and the wireless communication, and even with the cloud to protect the sea. So this is not just all the CSRs, but just some of them. I put this in our slides. So even currently under the pandemic, for Huawei, our local office, and together with the operators, we're accelerating network deployment because even especially during the pandemic, then the network is really more important than before. So that's why we need to work really hardly and to guarantee that everyone can get the network. Okay, so I would like to share with you some of the videos that we take this year, and let me see. So I'm going to share with you a video that we took last year. Let me share my screen. And give you the sound. Okay.
The number of COVID-19 cases in the Philippines continues to rise. Until the 13th of September, the number of confirmed cases in the Philippines surged to over 261,000 after the Department of Health reported 3,372 new cases.
It's okay, go back. Let's go.
Did you eat dinner? Did you eat the dinner already? Not yet? Why? It's late. It's already 8:30. You're still preparing dinner?
So now I would like to use our the exhibition hall, virtual exhibition hall in our headquarters to share with you some of our 5G leading solutions and also the 5G practices. Okay, let me share with you. Okay, so this is our, we called Galileo exhibition hall. Why we called Galileo? Because, you know, Galileo was the first astronomer who invented the telescope that allowed the people for the first time to know the universe better. Since we believe that 5G has endless possibilities, so we hope that we can follow the spirit of Galileo to explore the endless possibilities of 5G, not just from the solution point of view, but also from the business point of view. So firstly, in such a tunnel, we want to show our greatest respect to all the scientists who made great contribution to the ICT industry, like the Morse, who invented the telegraph, right? And also Martin Cooper, who invented the first mobile phone, and also Stephen Jobs, who invented the iPhone, right? And accelerate the mobile communication industry. And so let's go into our exhibition hall. So you see that this is our exhibition hall overview, and we named our exhibition hall as a different planet, like the Venus, like the Mars. So firstly is the 5G. Actually, the 5G is already here. Currently, there are more than 500 kinds of 5G devices, and also the smartphone devices is already around $150, which is quite affordable for most of the people. And besides that, actually, here is our base stations. We see that this one, traditionally, we use the crane to build the site, because it's really high, and also quite heavy. So if we use the crane to deploy the site, we need a lot of time. Usually for one site we need 2 days. But now you can see that we can make our AAU active antenna unit really light, as only 20 kilograms. So even even one people can deploy the site quite easily. So 2 people build the 5G base stations only within 2 hours. So it can greatly shorten the time to market. And also here you see that because in the 5G spectrum, it has also the lower band, 700, 800, 900 megahertz, but also middle spectrum, and also the higher band. So now we can for support just a 1A RRU radio unit to support different bands from 700 to 900. So it also can greatly shorten the time to market, and also to save the space for the customers. And here are some of our, this is our cutting edge technology. For example, why we can make our 5G base stations so light and also high efficiency, because they are, for example, the filter, which is really important to reduce the power consumption, and also to improve the efficiency of the radio unit. Then we use the different materials. This is the benefit from our long-term innovation in the basic research. We have a lot of physical scientists, and also the chemists, and also the mathematics. So this is the benefit from the basic research. That's why I mentioned at the very beginning we have spent more than $100 billion for the past 10 years. And also here, this is the real site that I showed in the slide. We call the super blade site, which means the 5G here for the blade AAU, and the 2G, 3G, 4G spectrum in the lower side. So one site can support 2G, 3G, 4G, and 5G together. So this can greatly shorten the time to market, because you see here only one light post can deploy the site. So this is really useful and already used in Globe, because in the Philippines, it is really difficult for the operators to get a site or spare more space for the new site. And also here we see that there are some innovation like these ones to support 4G and 5G and even 3G. We call it Easy Macro, because it really environment friendly, because it looks like just a very beautiful one, and quite easy to deploy. So you see here, just one even young lady can deploy this one. So it can really easily to deploy just along with the light poles and also the microwave. So I just simply give you a general introduction about the solutions, because I think you will be more interested in the ecosystem and also in the business part. Okay. So firstly, I want to introduce the 5G Live. 5G to Live, that means 5G to the consumers. So we see here the 5G. Normally, the 4G enriches lives. So this is the 4G and the 5G comparison with different experience. You see here, 4G can only support the 10 megabps for full HD, but with 5G can support 40 megabps. So you can quite easily to enjoy the 4K, even the 4K. So here. So you see that experience is really different. I believe that if you get used to the 4K experience, you will never fall back to the full HD. Just like if you get used to the full HD, you will never fall back to the 360p or 720p. And you see here, there are a lot of different devices for the VR and AR glass services. So in the future, maybe you can just put on a very light and quite a flexible glasses, and you can enjoy different services. But even without the glasses, as we see here, we can also have the same quite fantastic experience like this one. We see here, this is based on a 5G. So even under the pandemic, maybe you are in your home and your friend is the other cities and even in different countries, but you can play the piano, you can sing together with, you can have a concert together with the real size. You see here, this is the real size, real time, anywhere, just based on a 5G, quite high speed and low latency. You see here, the speed can reach up to 100. Well, the requirement of this one services, they need more than 100, and network latency needs less than 20 milliseconds. So this is based on a 5G plus AR augmented reality for the global concert. So you see here, you can easily augment it yourself to the different pictures, and then you can have the concert or sing together with them. And here are some services like in the South Korea, and I think I can share with you. I can share with you from my laptop. Okay.
This is the place to be, where everyone is free. There is no better way, life ain't cheating me, and nothing else will do. Just enjoy the ride. Just go and enjoy it. 잡아 너무나 지루해 따뜻하고 또 기도해 의미 없대 bring me up 새로운 나의 기지 yeah 파란색으로 물들어 다가올 시간은 don't think about it just wait a minute 너와 나의 easy game I just wanna get shot 단한 방 너에게 shot 난 나를 wanna get it all
让你久等了吧，我在家里准备的有一点点久。我穿这套衣服看起来怎么样？真的吗？出门前决定要穿什么，我就花了1个多。
Okay, so this is the case that for the South Korea and also in Thailand, AIS and True, they have the similar services like this. So we see that in a 5G and a 4G comparison, we see that 5G with the high speed and the low latency, we can have more services like AR and VR. Yes, even under the 4G, you can have the services, but the experience will much worse than the 5G because the 5G can provide the smooth experience. And also the VR dancing, VR idol life, and even the star dating and also the AR dancing. So especially for the first case I shared with you with the idol life, actually you can easily to change or to choose which direction or which superstar you want to focus on, because for example, in South Korea, the girls group are really popular, but maybe in a group they have 12 people, but your superstar is only one of them. So when they are dancing, you just want to focus on your superstar. So your idol, so you can just click the button and choose which one you want to focus. So this is also behind the technology behind of this one. In South Korea, in LG Plus, they build a lot of cameras, and then the different cameras to select the collect the information and then upload to one, and then to compromise all the videos together, and then you can have the chance to choose which one of which direction from some of the cameras. So based on the 5G, the high speed and low latency, you can have such kind of experience. So this is the South Korea, and also there are some other cases let me share with you. So here are some cases about the 5G for the industries. Let me share with you. So before we go to the 5G to the industry, I would like to share with you another case from China Mobile in Zhejiang province. This is for the business to consumer because our expert in the headquarters, they take the survey and also summarized as a video to show that how Zhejiang Mobile, how they success in the B2C market.
Hangzhou, a city that is both traditional and modern. Hangzhou is one of the 5G cities in China. China Mobile Zhejiang has deployed one of the best 5G networks in the world in only 2 years. Till now, Hangzhou has more 5G base stations than many countries. Let's see how the performance of this high-quality 5G network. Our first stop in Hangzhou is the most popular tourism attraction, West Lake.
It's a really popular spot, as you can see. Let's see how the mobile network performance in a hotspot like this place. Yes, the speed is more than 1 gigabit per second. It's real 5G.
Now we are doing the test in CBD. Always 1 gigabit per second. This is a suburb of Hangzhou. Can the speed also reach 1 gigabit per second? Wow, the results really surprised me. No matter we are in tourism attraction, CBD or suburbs, it always shows the best speed. I cannot wait to know the real feeling of 5G users.
您好，不好意思打扰一下，可以给你们采访一下吗？因为看到你们正在用5G 手机，所以想了解一下你们有没有体验过5G 的业务。
我用5G 业务呀，你看这是 VR 看博物馆，非常顺畅，没有时延，比4G 要好很多。
The best performance 5G network is enriching people's life. Also, is a foundation of 5G business success. Hangzhou, a city that is both traditional and modern. Hangzhou is one of the 5G cities in China. China Mobile Zhejiang has deployed one of the best 5G networks in the world in only 2 years. Till now, Hangzhou has more 5G base stations than many countries. Let's see how the performance of this high-quality 5G network. Our first stop in Hangzhou is the most popular tourism attraction, West Lake.
It's a really popular spot, as you can see. Let's see how the mobile network performance in a hotspot like this place. Yes, the speed is more than 1 gigabit per second. It's really
Building up a best experience 5G network is just a beginning. China Mobile Zhejiang has realized 5G upselling and user increase through innovative services, multi-dimensional tariff, and multi-channel promotion. First, let's have a look on their innovative 5G services. Hangzhou is a digital economy city and leading in e-commerce. 5G technology makes live streaming e-commerce from indoor to everywhere.
它现在就推出一个新的新消息的这么一个功能，现在不需要新消息的话，我们只需要知道对方的手机号码，我们就可以直接对对方进行一个交易。
Hangzhou is also a popular tourism city.
哇，真的有哎。
AR cultural tourism and AR navigation are widely applied by 5G users. Zhejiang Mobile has its own content platform called 米姑爱看, which is operating a large number of high-definition videos, among which free view videos allow traditional Chinese art to be displayed in 360 degrees.
There is a mobile shop there. Let's go in and have a look.
Now let's have a look on the tariff plans of China Mobile Zhejiang.
您好，请问这里是在办5G 业务吗？不好意思，请问可以拍摄一下吗？不影响你们业务的。
就是好拍的。
的话，我推荐您办这个幸福家288套餐，里面有100G的流量，包括您下买手机可以享受一个2000元的购机补贴。那我这边不用换卡，不用换号的，我甚至帮你弄一下。
好的，我来看一下。288，100G。
many phones to choose from, and China Mobile Zhejiang is offering incredible discounts on the phone price. Lots of data plans too. And one-click provisioning means we don't have to change our SIM card or the phone numbers.
Next, let's have a look on one of new promotion channels of China Mobile Zhejiang.
Live broadcasting also became a new way to promote 5G service, package, and terminal. Shh, here now is on live.
Because of ultimate experience and innovative services, as well as multiple tariff and promotions, its DOU increased 60%, ARP increased 10%, and revenue increased 7%. Finally, it achieved 5G upselling. Building up a
Okay, so this is for the case from Zhejiang Mobile, and I will also share with you some of the case that the short videos for the B2C market. Let me find. Okay, let me share my screen. This one. So in the 5G manufacturing, here is the demo for this one. Okay. Okay, this is the 5G in the manufacturing, and also this one is for the 5G in the port. Actually, we see that the 5G can make the port safer and more efficient from the traditional operation with the manual way, and then moves to the remote control. So there are lots of benefits for the smart port. Actually, nowadays we also cooperate with Globe in the Manila port. So we hope that the 5G can bring and enable the digitalization of the port. So I would like to share with you some of the videos that are including the port and also the manufacturing. Let's have a look on this one. Smart port first. This is the case in China, Shenzhen.
Hello, I'm Richard Griffiths from Huawei's Carrier Marketing Department, and today we're going to take a look at the 5G Smart Port. This is Mawen Port in Shenzhen. It's about 938,000 square meters. It's got 2 kilometers of shoreline and 5 berths for container ships arriving from all around the world. Every year it handles about 3 million 20-foot containers, and it has the capability to handle the world's largest container ship. Mawen Port developed over time shipping bulk groceries, which is very labor-intensive. But in 2019, it embarked on the construction of a whole new 5G smart port with the goal of becoming China's very first automated port. You know, at first glance, with all the huge cranes and other equipment, it doesn't seem so very different to the old style of port that's usually packed with dock workers. But let's take a closer look and find out what's really going on here at the 5G Smart Port. These are the key bridges. Massive cranes, 40 meters in the sky, carrying the containers from the ships to the trailers here in the port. It's not easy getting to work. And here we are, right at the top of the crane. Behind me you can see the crane room. This is where the operator sits. Now usually there's 3 or 4 of them working in 8-hour shifts. You know, they can't even go to the loo. It takes half an hour to get all the way down and all the way back up again. And in the meantime, there's nothing being offloaded off the ship. It's incredibly inefficient. Behind me on the other side, if you take a look, is a pole at the top of which is a 64T, 64R massive MIMO 5G antenna. This is what's covering the entire port site with all of that luxurious 5G signal. And on the cranes themselves are 22 cameras sending HD video images from every conceivable angle to the remote control room over the 5G network. There, drivers operate the cranes remotely, leveraging the ultra-low latency of the 5G network from their controls to the sophisticated PLC system that controls the crane's every movement. In this way, Mawen Port achieves the most efficient loading and unloading of containers using unmanned cranes with no downtime and no long toilet breaks. Okay, we spent long enough up here. Let's get back down on the ground and check out that remote control room. So this is where the crane operators now work. It's a far cry from that hot little room at the top of the crane. You'll see there's air conditioning, comfy chairs, and there's even a coffee machine in the corner. We're about 1 kilometer away from the crane right here, making the whole operation a lot more efficient. Take a look at these screens over here. You'll see video views from all the cameras on the crane delivered over this 5G network. Every joint on the crane can be monitored and controlled in real time using these controls, and this is how the remote loading and unloading of containers is now done. They've measured the speed of response through the network to be about 7 milliseconds, which means for the operator, the video images and the responsiveness of the control is immediate. With 5G, the job for these port workers has emphatically changed from a blue-collar job to a white-collar one. Ma Wan port handles about 3 million containers every year. That's about 10,000 every day. 10,000 containers being offloaded and unloaded. All of those ships. Behind me is where they get put onto trucks, onto the back of trucks to be taken to their eventual destination here in the port. But it gets terribly congested during peak hours, always with the potential of a collision or some sort of accident. This is a trailer that transports the containers around the port site. The crane lifts the container from the ship to a trailer like this, and it's taken to its eventual destination elsewhere in the port. But now, we can see the trailer doesn't actually have a driver. Yes, these trucks are completely unmanned and they drive themselves around the site. There's not even a cabin on top for a driver. Instead, they have 360-degree cameras, various sensors and a radar on top to help with positioning, along with a 5G antenna. All of this controlled completely over 5G. This ensures the efficiency of operation and also the safety of the site, all completed over the 5G network here at the port. It's the high bandwidth for the video and the low latency for the control delivered by the 5G network that enable these self-driving trucks here in the port. We're now under the port bridges where a tallyman traditionally would be working, counting the containers and their contents going in and out, knowing where everyone is, looking exactly where all the vehicles are going. It's all very manual work and it takes place outdoors no matter what the weather. It's also a very risky environment. Now the people are gone and the cranes in the quay have a pair of intelligent eyes, AI machine vision, and there's 11 of them. With 5G, these clerks can bid farewell to the wind and rain forever. All it takes is a screen and a few clicks of the mouse and the process is complete. Actually, one of these clerks does the work of 3 old tallymen, making it both safe and efficient. Ma Wan Port is a safe, stable and efficient operation, and it's all achieved over a 5G network. It truly is the smart port of the future, with containers being handled end to end without humans or paperwork. This can be replicated at smart ports the world over, and who knows what further innovation is going to emerge from here in the future. The 5G port, truly a bright light in the digital transformation of all industries.
Okay. And the next one is for the manufacturing in China here.
Hello, I'm Richard Griffiths from Huawei's Carrier Marketing Department. 5G is rapidly expanding around the world, surpassing everybody's expectations. The networks, the devices, and the mobile phones are increasingly coming to market in huge numbers. Consumers are also enthusiastically embracing the possibilities of 5G, so upgrading from a 4G mobile phone to a 5G one is rapidly becoming the norm. Today, we're going to take a look at how one of the most popular 5G mobile phones, the Mate 40, actually comes to market. And the incredible thing about it is that this 5G mobile phone is actually made with 5G.
This is Huawei's 5G factory. It's a high-speed assembly line rammed full of precision equipment. But looking around, assembly line workers are few and far between. The people you can see, they're mostly computer technicians. There's a good reason for this, because this 5G assembly line is doing things a little bit differently. It all starts with a 5G mobile network covering the entire campus. This is replacing tens of thousands of meters of network cables and hundreds of network switches.
Now hundreds of production devices from many different manufacturers are connected over the 5G network and then mixed and matched flexibly to make the new Mate 40 production line. But it's not just about the network. The PLCs for each device have been sent into the cloud, and the devices can now be commissioned, configured and scheduled centrally. The 5G network, working with the cloud, guarantees industry-grade reliability and a reduction in latency, enabling plug-and-play provisioning.
Every step of the Mate 40 manufacturing process requires quality assurance to ensure that the phone in your pocket is made to the highest highest possible standard. Now, this area here is where the quality assurance of the phone's printed circuit board takes place. You'll see the printed circuit board is tiny, the components are tiny, and the soldering is done to a very fine degree of detail. Now, traditionally, the quality assurance of the printed circuit board was carried out using a device called the Automatic Optical Quality Inspection Device, which, despite the name, required frequent manual intervention.
Thankfully, 5G and AI have come to the rescue. Now, this ultra-high-definition camera sends 8 pictures a second to the cloud, where the images are inspected by AI and the PCB is passed to the next stage.
The Mate 40, quality assured by AI over 5G. Don't you want one now? The production line makes a new Huawei Mate 40 every 28.5 seconds. Each one is comprised of about 2,500 individual components. Can you imagine the complexity of the logistics and the supply chains to ensure the right component arrives at the right production line at the right time?
Now, these autonomous guided vehicles do the job, managed over the 5G network by AI in the cloud. They receive the requirements from the production line, locate the materials from the store, and deliver them just in time to ensure continuous production.
This is the end of the production line. You'll see there are 3 boxes, each containing 10 Mate 40s. At this point, the production line itself calls the AGV over the 5G network. It takes the boxes to the tallying area for onward distribution. Who knows, maybe one of these Mate 40s is going to end up in your hands.
Smart manufacturing over 5G networks is the answer. It resolves so many problems. How to construct large-scale production lines but tailor the finished products. How to manage the inventory according to demand without wasting components. And how to ensure a top-quality phone while still being efficient.
The Mate 40, the 5G mobile phone built using 5G. Let's look forward to the next industry that digitally transforms using 5G networks. Back to you.
And this small one. And this one is for the smart campus that 5G with IoT.
Guangdong Industrial Design City covers about 100,000 square meters. There are nearly 300 industrial design companies here from China and abroad. 8,345 designers and R&D engineers work here. It is the largest concentration of industrial design companies in China.
园区的建设过程，我们是通过5G、专线、物联网等方式，将园区场景的各要素连接到部署在园区的边缘计算平台，快速处理日常应用。
Lo Weiyu is NK Design's Director of Operations. During morning rush hour, she arrives at the campus where an HD camera at the gate quickly recognizes her license plate and lets her in. At 10 a.m., Lo has an efficient online meeting through the smart screen system, using the campus's one-stop cloud office application and service. After the meeting, Lo gets right back to editing designs based on the customer's requirements. Functions like cloud desktop, cloud rendering platforms, enterprise cloud storage, and international private lines have solved the designer's biggest problems. The model was rendered in just a few minutes.
对于设计师来说，渲染时间真的非常重要。现在有了云渲染功能，我们可以定制化自己的需求。以前需要几小时到几天的渲染时间，现在只需要2到3分钟就可以完成了。
Before lunch, Lo checks the company's property expenses, asset statistics, and employee attendance on the GIDC app. She finished a dozen tasks before the morning is over. Every day, more than 300 design companies like MK Design rely on the efficient campus system. Security guards are rarely seen, though there's the occasional patrol robot. The seemingly unguarded campus is actually being completely monitored.
通过这个大屏，我们可以看到园区里面的所有摄像头。利用 IOC 系统，我们可以实时监控到整个园区的动态，例如车辆信息、消防信息、安全信息。
The IOC system has functions such as vehicle management and campus operations. And it gives visibility into fire safety, energy consumption, and equipment operations on the campus. The visualized IOC system enables effective campus management.
我们通过天翼云强大的云网融合能力，实现更高性能和更高质量的运算，借助 AI 技术、垂直行业应用共同使能，从而提升园区的管理和服务效能，实现5G 协同。
The campus is full of smart lamp poles like this. They integrate 5G sites, sensors, and cameras that used to be separately installed. China Telecom worked with Huawei and others to build a unified service platform for smart campuses. X-Tech, the synergy across 5 tech domains: connectivity, cloud, computing, AI, and industry applications, makes campus services and management more efficient and empowers the production of enterprises.
5G 协同深入智慧园区，改变了传统园区在发展过程当中所面临的经营效率低、管理成本高、综合安防弱、服务体验差、业务创新难等的痛点。在这个过程当中，进行全面的综合提升改造，进一步促使广东工业设计城建设发展成为国际化、科技化、智慧化的工业设计产业园区。
The intelligent upgrade of GIDC has begun to bear fruit in less than 1 year. Its management costs have dropped by 30%, energy efficiency is up by 80%, security coverage is at 100%, professional service level is up by 30%, and innovative service revenue is up by 20%. GIDC has become one of X-Tech global models in the world. Looking ahead, X-Tech campuses will ride the waves of the B2B market and scale new heights.
This project began in 2019 and runs through 2020. It's a collaboration between Huawei, China Mobile, and China's Southern Power Grid, focusing on 2 main areas. First of all, the standalone 5G network uplink carries ultra-high definition video images to enable the remote inspection of all of the power lines. And secondly, it uses AI in the cloud to vastly increase the efficiency of the operations. There's about 4,000 kilometers of power cables to inspect, and the team of 80 people used to take 20 days to complete the work. Now, their manual inspections have been replaced by high-definition cameras on the pylons and remote-control drones running over the 5G network. This standalone 5G network provides more than 80 megabits per second of uplink bandwidth that can carry the ultra-high-definition 4K video images with a network latency of less than 15 milliseconds, fast enough for responsive and accurate remote control of the drones. But it would be overwhelming for the staff in the control room to analyze all of this video themselves. There needs to be something else that improves operational efficiency. The answer, of course, is to bring in artificial intelligence. These cameras have a smart brain, so there is a smart brain here as well as a smart eye, also backing up what's going on with the drones. Actually, they don't send the pictures back all the time. All they do is send the picture back when they detect some sort of a risk, like this kite that's flying in here. When they send those pictures back to the control center can then hit the action plan and come and fix the problem.
But it's not the end of the story. All of these images get stored in the cloud, and over time, machine learning improves the algorithms to improve the efficiency of these smart cameras. So 5G standalone plus AI plus the cloud are making this whole process a lot more efficient. What used to take 20 days is now achieved in just 2 hours.
Okay. And this is for
Hello, I'm Richard Griffiths from Huawei's Carrier Marketing Department. Today, I'm at the Xiantan Iron and Steel Company in the province of Hunan. It's one of the largest iron and steel companies in the whole of China, and every day they churn out tons of standard 5-meter lengths of finished steel. But that's where the similarity with every other iron and steel company ends. Because here, the Iron Men of Xiantan are making steel with 5G. Join me inside. It takes 5 steps to produce one 5-meter plate: heating the raw materials, forging the steel, rolling it out, quality control, and finally transportation. Here, 5G is everywhere throughout this process. Behind me are the cranes, massive magnets collecting the scrap metal as it arrives and taking it to the fiery furnaces. But this is a horrible working environment. It's dirty, noisy, smelly. I can taste the air. It's also extremely noisy. I can't hear myself think, and suddenly I'm having to shout so that you can hear me. I don't want to be here. Down there, the workers, they wear this clumsy protective equipment, but it doesn't protect them from all of the hazards and all of the risks. I'm just going to get out of here. Xiantan Iron and Steel has 400 such cranes and employs 1,500 drivers for them. These cranes are crucial to the production process as they transfer the hot metal scraps and other materials into the furnaces. Thankfully, 5G changes this. The private 5G network on this campus provides 1.2 gigabits per second uplink rates with less than 20 milliseconds latency. This is more like it. The cranes are now being remote controlled over the 5G network from the beautiful comfort of this luxurious office. This remote control system is made up of cranes, crane operators, and the 5G network. Operators can now spend their working day in a comfy room and remotely control their cranes. Just imagine how work is made easier, safer, and pleasant now. The remote control system is also a lot more precise compared to the old manual processes. 5G remote control has created a much better working environment. It's cool, it's clean, and it's quiet. In fact, all I can hear is the clicking of the remote controls. In fact, it's created such a better working environment for these people that their efficiency rating has gone up 4 times. Is where they add what's called slag. It removes impurities and increases the quality of the finished steel. But it's incredibly hot in here. Over there, more than 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit. Even here, we've tested it, 176 degrees Fahrenheit. I'd really rather not be here wearing a suit. Workers cannot stay here for more than about 2 hours at a time. The quality of this process also relies heavily on the proficiency of each individual worker. But now, we use 5G robots to add the slag. Robots can work around the clock, right next to the burning furnace, without any risk to their health. They also improve the steel quality, because robots can evenly and consistently distribute the slag. Over the 5G network, these robots run completely on their own. It reduces a lot of the manual work in the whole process, and even cuts down on the raw materials by 5%.
better. This way, they can guarantee the quality and size of steel, whatever the customer orders. But looking around, I can't see any employees here in the factory. Where are they all? Let's find out. The roughing mill always used to be operated out of this control room right by the rollers. But as you can see, there's nobody here anymore. The answer, of course, is that they have also moved to a much better environment halfway across the campus without all of this noise. And how do they do it? They do it by controlling all of this machinery over the 5G network. Take the operation of turning the steel as an example. The steel enters the turning track from the primary rolling mill and rotates 90 degrees into the mill for rolling. Previously, this operation was done manually. Operators manually watched the monitoring screen to track the position and posture of the steel plate. The efficiency of this operation was limited by the operator's experience, skills, and physical condition. Now, 5G cameras in the production line record the status of each steel sheet and send it back to the control center through the dedicated 5G network. AI is used to analyze the video and deliver control instructions, making it automated and completely unmanned. After the 5G upgrade, the capacity of this roughing mill has increased by nearly 20%, from 21 to 25 sheets per hour. Transportation is the last part of any critical infrastructure in all iron and steel factories. Here at Xiantan, they've got trucks, they've got railways, and they've even got their own port. There is massive opportunity for 5G to enable the remote control of all of this transportation infrastructure, including the possibility of autonomously driven vehicles for the ultimate in unmanned operation. There are more than 5,000 large-scale steel factories in China, and the demand for the intelligent digitalization of their operations is huge. In 2020 alone, investment in this digital transformation will reach $18.5 billion, promising a very bright future for the industry. The Iron Men of Xiantan, forging the new future with 5G.
So that's the case that I would like to share with you from the B2C and the B2B. So next one, I would like to share with you 5G open class. This is the public class that is accessible for all the people if you just click the link. So let me share with you. There are a lot of lectures in focused on different topics. So firstly, I would like to share with you why the 5G in the South Korea is the successful business. Let me share with you. So you see here, this is our 5G. This is our mobile open class, and anybody, you just click this link, and then you can get access to the topics like the 5G spectrum and 5G in South Korea. So I would like to share with you the 5G in South Korea first. Okay, and there are also some lectures you see here. So let's start from the lecture 1 with the course overview here.
Hello everybody, and welcome to series number 2 from Huawei Mobile Open Class. My name is Mohammed. I'm a VP of Huawei Global Wireless and Cloud Core Network Marketing and Solution Department with a major focus on holistic mobile connectivity strategy for carriers. Last week, we wrapped up the first series from the Mobile Open Class, which was all about spectrum and 5G, in which experts nailed down spectrum allocation strategy, pricing, and also how can spectrum efficiency be enhanced on country level and operator levels in order to maximize network value and also build an outstanding full 5G network and service. Well, today we are going to start series number 2 from the Mobile Open Class, almost in the same direction, but with a practical, outstanding 5G commercialization model. In this series, we will analyze the first market in the world which commercialized real 5G almost a year and a half ago, a market that's characterized by outstanding digital demand and great ambitions from government and carriers to take the lead and break business growth bottleneck benefiting society, industries, and economies. Yes, it is South Korea market. Today, we will analyze that market from the 5G commercialization model standpoint from different perspectives: technology, business economics, ecosystem, demand requirements, and we will also do that from many levels: government policy, operators strategy, industry verticals, and also consumer trends as well. With this analysis, key success factor will be derived and lesson learned in the excelling the commercialization process will be laid down, which can help relevant operator scenarios around the world. So today, we invite Dr. Sanshil Lee. He's a former CEO of LG U+, a key operator in South Korea, to tell us the story of 5G success in South Korea. Dr. Lee is a widely influential person in the communication industry in South Korea. He has created a tremendous achievement which has been praised as LGU Plus Video Miracle. He will walk us through the 5G development in South Korea with a series of short 10 minutes learning videos so that we can all learn them, crunch them, and more importantly, enjoy them. Also today, we are joined by 2 analysts and thought leaders from Strategy Analytics. Number 1, Woody Ho, Director for Global Wireless Practice. He is responsible for delivering in-depth analysis guidance and also predictions on Korean operators and also global B2C practice as well. Also, we have Phil Kendall. He is Executive Director at Strategy Analytics from Service Provider at the Service Provider Group. He's responsible for providing strategic support to leading telecom operators. He authored major reports on 5G go-to-market strategy, use cases, business models, and so on. So without further comments, please bring your coffee, a pen, and a paper, and let's go ahead and get started with Dr. Lee. Please.
Okay. And Dr. Lee here.
involved in the development of 5G. There is no real secret about it, but when it comes to a big national project like 4G or 5G, it requires very tight cooperation between the government, industry, research institutes, and universities together. Now, the government should have a very detailed plan first, and then support industries, not control them, and give some incentives to them so that they may participate in the project actively, and incentives give the operators or industries some benefits when they come earlier than others. Well, Korea has done this kind of things many times. One of the examples is 1980, they developed electronic switches. They used to buy electronic switches from abroad, 100% of them. And in the 1980s, when they developed the electronic switch successfully, suddenly the price from outside went down by half. That's what is happening. In the 1990s, they developed the CDMA in this way with Qualcomm. And Korea became the first country who implemented the CDMA technology for their mobile phone. Now, 4G was a good example too. LGU Plus got into the project a little earlier than others, and they got the benefit of it. In just 3 years, the revenue went up 50%, subscription and ARPU all went up. So LGU Plus got so much benefit out of 4G. Now let's go for 5G now. Korean government believes that 5G is the key driver to fourth industrial revolution. If you see the slide of 5G commercial schedule in Korea, they announced the plan of 5G frequency spectrum allocation in May 2018. And they issued 5G radio system qualification on the same month. And they did auction and issued 5G spectrum to 3 operators. And operators emitted 5G power end of 2018, December. Now, actual commercial service started April of 2019. So 5G commercial service, frequency band at 28 gigahertz. Government gave 1 gigahertz band to each operator, which will be used for hotspots and special areas. We don't have any sites for 28 gigahertz yet. Also, at 3.5 gigahertz, they gave 80 to 100 megahertz each, and it will be used for nationwide. Of course, LG U+ has 50 megahertz bandwidth for 4G at 2.6, 2.1, and 850 megahertz. Now, using that spectrum, the government really pushed hard to develop 5G because they thought 5G is the key driver to fourth industrial revolution. They established 5G strategy in April 2019 and derived the 15 5G strategy projects. And special task force organized in the same month, and they set up a new ecosystem for 5G so that all the content, service, and devices development are very well organized in one manner. And key agendas they drive towards government will provide a test bed, and deregulating all the regulations that blocking 5G development, and raise the funds for the startups and small and medium-sized industries, and clean up all security issues. First, testbed. The government provided a testbed site in the case city that runs all the simulations and all the test sites for all the government projects, including autonomous car test drive sites and things like that. And they did the 5G related government projects there, including B2G, business to government projects, the test site and everything. And also they use it for internationally authorized security service test site as well. Now, using the test site, all the small and medium-sized industry could come in and they run whatever they have developed there so that it is well integrated into the system. Now, smart city was also tested in that testbed site. They introduced the infrastructure so that all the operators in industry could come in and test their systems, especially for intelligent ports and railways and things like that. So testbed is being used very effectively now. Okay, second thing is deregulations. They try to deregulate all the regulations that's blocking 5G services. Especially, there are so many regulations on drones because drone is a very sensitive thing. They now cleaned up most of drone regulations. Government is trying to find new 5G spectrum, which used to be blocked by regulations. Government also opened position system information and data, which was blocked by privacy issues. Now clean the regulations, and yet the privacy issues is very well protected. Special fundraising. Fundraising is very important, especially for small and medium-sized industries and startups. They funded for a special AR studio. It's a huge studio, so everybody could come and use it. And they opened all the informations of national museums. National museums opened all the information to, whoever is trying to develop the service. Smart factories test beds there, and autonomous car driving. They funded for very accurate 3D map design, which was very essential for autonomous car driving. Digital healthcare service, hospitals' remote diagnosis service, and standardizing patients' information and data so that they could move around. They funded smart city programs as well. So these funds are very essential to the development of 5G services. Of course, security issues. They set up there used to be many security issues and many different levels of security here and there. Now they cleaned up the whole thing. They have a new classes of security, and it's well organized and integrated security classes now. There's pretty much government involvement in the development of 5G now, and they should help them using fundraisings and providing test sites and so on. When this integration works fine, the success is guaranteed. Thank you very much.
Okay, and this is lecture 2.
Good morning, everyone. Today we will talk about 5G. I mean, the core value of 5G. The most frequently questions I get is it worth investing? How good is it? How can Korea make such a rapid revenue growth of 5G? Well, it's not that clear whether we should start 5G unless we have a very clear vision what 5G will give us. This is done by the study of Economic Research Institute in Korea. They expected that by 2026, the revenue will go up, the GDP will go up 10% because of 5G, and it will create 600,000 jobs. Also, it says that the ICT value will grow up almost by 1/3 to $157 billion by 2026. And the export also will grow up about 1/3, $76 billion by 2026. They say the contribution of 5G would be great. Is it really true or not? Korean government and operators have faith in that study, and they studied 5G. Okay. Now, what is the value of 5G, by the way? Is it really giving you a new value? If you see this slide, 2G gave you new mobility. You are off the hook, and you can move around. You can go into the tunnel, subway, or elevator, and you are connected to almost anyone in the whole world. That's great value. For 3G, it gave you the access to the internet network. Now you can enjoy all the informations in the internet, and you are connected to social media. And you may send mail here and there, without any difficulties. So mobile internet is the key value of 3G, which is also a great value. The value of 4G was video. Now, people may have access to all the video things. Now you can watch TV, you can watch movies, now you can watch Netflix and YouTube and everything. Everything's going to video these days because of this 4G. That's great value too. What is the value of 5G then? It should provide you some value beyond the video. Korean operators believe there is a very much new value of 5G, and also it will give you so much economical gains out of 5G. So they began to invest. Well, this is the case of LGU+. It shows that by May of this year, 2020, it covered the Seoul and 85 big cities. And by the end of this year, it will cover 90% of the whole population in Korea. And 22, it will cover 100% of the whole populations, which is pretty much same as 4G coverage now in Korea. And those three colors means three vendors. And they are doing very actively and very well as well. Well, this is what LGU+ is claiming. They say it's superior to other players. But they are measuring the speed 2 or 3 times a year, and it came out pretty much, same. LGU+ is a little bit better in metropolitan areas, and they are doing pretty well. Actually, LGU+ reached over 1 gigabit per second speed with 5G, which is great value. I mean, with fiber optics landline, you could get to about 300 megabits, maybe 400 megabits. But with 5G, you could get 1 gigabit, which is great speed, phenomenal speed, actually. Now, with that speed, they have come up with a new data plan. Actually, this data plan has changed a little bit as time goes by. But if you see the LTE data plan, data 69, that's $58 per month, and it gives you 5 gigabyte per day, not 5 gigabyte a month, it's per day. It's unlimited. And if it is more than 5 gigabyte, it still provides the data, but with the speed of 5 megabit. Also, it gives you 11 gigabyte tethering data. If you move to a 5G data plan, it pretty much matches with standard packaging, which is a few dollars more expensive than 4G data 69. And it gives you pretty much the same data coverage, 150 gigabyte a month. And if it is go over 150, then the speed goes down to 5 megabits. And it also gives you 10 gigabyte tethering data package. Now, it's pretty much the same, except a few dollars more expensive for 5G, which is the price for the higher speed than 4G. Most of people who come to 5G, they take premium regular, which is $80. It's purely unlimited. It doesn't limit 5 megabits speed at all. And it gives you 50 gigabyte tethering data as well. And it also gives you AR and VR services. So that makes a big difference. So people who choose 5G, we already have over 4 million subscribers in Korea, choose premium regular, which is $80 per month package. As you see, people choose 5G, the ARPU surely will go up. And 4 million people already have 5G, so the ARPU and revenue also go up too. LGU Plus believe that there are 3 things that gives you market leader. Network coverage, data plan, and services, of course. Network coverage and data plan are pretty much similar to others. If somebody goes up, others follow, So I would say they're pretty similar network coverage and data plan. But services are different. So everybody's working very hard to provide better services, the so-called killer services, killer applications. Now, what kind of services and how they actually affect the increase of ARPU and revenue, I will talk about it to the next lecture. But these services will be the key thing to make 5G different from 4G. But this is quite simple and standard chart, but it is important. This is the way to deploy network and develop services. They have some plans, and network is deployed, and services will be developed. And they put them out to market. But when they just do that, they would find that there is no much revenue increase or ARPU increase. The way to increase that is you get the feedback from the customers. Go to the market and get the response from the customers, and you feed back to new network deployment and service development. And you have to go through these feedback iterations at least 3-4 times. Then you will begin to see the increase of the revenue and ARPU as well. Actually, Korea has started 5G pretty close to 1 year and 6 months ago. And they still have this kind of feedback iterations, but first a few iterations are very important. Get the customer response and put it back to your plan again, and slightly modify it and put it to market and get the response back and feedback. You have to go through these iterations. Now, if you have just plan only, there is no revenue or ARPU increase. If you just go and deploy and develop services, and there will be no ARPU increase at all. But if you go back to the feedback loop a few more times, you will begin to see it. So you have to go through this process anyway. Well, it takes time and it costs money, but this is a way to deploy the network and develop the systems and get the revenue and the ARPU increase. Thank you very much. Today we'll talk about actual services to consumer side. The question is, do we have any killer applications? What services was the best to increase the ARPU? What is the experience of Korea? Well, when we started this service about a year and a half ago, we started with entertainment using AR and VR. And a lot of early adapters liked it. But as the number of subscriptions go up, now we have over 4 million subscribers, then people begin to use 5G from entertainment to actual daily life. They begin to use it for daily life. So we are changing their whole services to daily life. Of course, we do still have some entertainment, AR and VR. So there are basically three categories. Broadcasting, you see the unseen things and see what you want, not what they provide you. The second category is immersive media, using AR and VR. Third category is, of course, the cloud. Multi-view broadcasting. Now, U-Plus provide pro baseball. You used to see what the PD of broadcasting service is providing to you. You see only one screen they provide you. Now, you can choose the screen you want. You can spot some place and then zoom it in and out. And you can even go back the time so that you could see his baseball swing, how he make home runs and things like that. So you begin to see something you could not see before. You choose what you want to see. That's the biggest difference. U-Plus Golf, of course. Korea is very strong in ladies golf. And when they like someone, you could follow her all the time for 18 holes because, every camera is following her as well. So there are hundreds of cameras shooting whole golf course, and you can choose one of them. And you could choose what kind of swing she's doing, how she's doing puttings, and how long she's hitting. That's a kind of a new experience you feel. That's a great experience. BTS is on the top chart of Billboard, and Korean idols are doing very well. You can see somebody's face very, enlarge it, and you can enjoy what she's doing. Of course, those idols cannot hide back there anymore, so you have to show yourself. Immersive media. UFOS has the world's best 3D AR volumetric technology studio. So they use this studio to produce very high quality AR contents. Also, the video file size is reduced very much. Actually, mostly 130 gigabyte to 600 megabyte, which is a very much reduction in data size. So you can transmit that data in real time, anywhere, everywhere. Also, this kind of method enables the production of live action contents with spectacular quality. So it is helping a lot. Kids library. Kids love to watch this kind of AR, VR type of library. It's very good for educational purpose. But these games are very much educational too. Living library that reacts when touched. Well, it's not the library that you could look around, you could flip the page of the book. These days, the library is touching library. You touch, it begins to move around. Famous characters and fairy tales, everything is in there. So kids really love this kind of new library. I think this is a start of next generation education for kids too. They are shopping. You may do shopping at home very easily, but very effectively too. You don't have to really go out and see it. It shows everything of it. Also, you could move around that item in your room, in your living room. Where should I put this air conditioner? Where should I put this air cleaner? You take a shot of your living room and you can move that thing here and there. So you know where to move, where to place the air conditioner or air cleaner before you buy it. So there are so many different things for shopping, and you may enjoy shopping by doing this. You could reduce the mistake before you buy it. The third thing is cloud. Well, the cloud will set you free from the old days expensive devices. You don't need new devices. For every game, you used to buy a new device. It's expensive, but you don't have to do it anymore. So everything's done by cloud, and even with your handset, you could manipulate it very easily. So you don't have to buy it. Experience GeForce gaming anywhere. You can get the new experience of the game. You can move instantly, transform nearly any Android mobile devices. So you don't have to have a new devices. Also, you can enjoy 150 different games very easily. You don't have to really buy them. You just enjoy it and use it and just pay for the time you use it. So it's a total concept of game is changing. Now, so what? So how much did it help? This is the result. It gives you a significant growth, and still, it is still growing. It has so much potential. Data usage, 4G used to be around 12 gigabyte on average. Now it went up over 30 gigabyte. Of course, revenue went up 37%. For 4G users, the average is $35. 5G users, average ARPU is around $50. So market has changed so much, and ARPU and revenue increased so much. This tells you the value of 5G service applications. Well, this is some statistics. If you said, all 20s, 30s, 40s age, and love to enjoy it. But note that ages in the 50s also enjoy 5G very much. And that's true for almost anything. For U plus VR, of course, 30s and 40s I enjoy very much, but 20s and 50s enjoy them too very much. We thought that only 20s and 30s enjoy VR and AR, but that's not the case. They all use AR and VR very much. So it tells you that almost all the ages people enjoy AR and VR or 5G. And as I said, the revenue increases more than 30%. The data usage increased more than 30%. And this is the fact, and this is the experience LGU Plus has gone through. People are worried that will it really give increase in revenue and ARPU? Yes, it does. This tells you why and how. Thank you very much.
At Huawei Open Class, and it's a great honor to present for Huawei and its clients across the world. Today, I will talk about South Korean 5G status from B2C perspectives. As you see here, the title is How is the 5G user base expanded and revenue increased through consumer services in South Korea. With this title, I'm going to present about 10 minutes. My name is Woody Oh, and I'm a service director at Strategy Analytics. My research area is B2C market of local operators here in South Korea, and I'm also looking at global smartphone market dynamics. Here is today's agenda. We will look at local operators' positioning from two viewpoints, pre-5G and post-5G. We will also discuss B2C services and content of three local operators. And then we will look at 5G data pricing, and we'll talk about 5G smartphone dynamics. Finally, I will wrap up the slide with some recommendations. This table shows 5G subscriptions per operator in South Korea since April last year. As of end of August 2020, total 5G subscriptions rose to around 8.7 million. I'm guessing as of today, the number might be surpassing 9 million subscriptions. Operators could gain higher monthly 5G subscriptions in August last year and August this year, mostly due to bigger promotional activities and subsidies at the timing of Galaxy Note series launch. Driven by this increase of 5G subscriptions and higher 5G pricing, 3 operators could post positive annual growth in terms of wireless revenue in the second quarter of 2020. Thinking about cellular subscriptions split among the local MNOs in pre-5G as of first quarter 2019, which reflects 2G through 4G, and post-5G as of second quarter 2020, which reflects 2G through 5G, we spotted 2 primary trends. First, MNOs have gained their share, mostly driven by increased 5G subscriptions. However, MVNOs have struggled to gather 5G subscribers due to weaker competitive environment with MNOs. Interestingly, subscription splits among 3 MNOs remained quite similar in pre-5G and post-5G. If we look at 5G only subscription splits, the share per operator looks to be very similar to the result that I just mentioned. Second, as you see from this subscriptions and revenue share among local MNOs, 5G hasn't changed 4G dynamics. Then what actions must operators take to change the current dynamics? I will talk about this in the final slides. Regarding 5G-related content strategies, local carriers take on somewhat different approach depending on their internal roadmap. It's either create or partner. Create literally refers to creating their own content, like KT in cloud gaming and SK Telecom in AR and VR segment. Partner means building a partnership with outside specialists like SKT and LGU Plus working with Microsoft and NVIDIA in cloud gaming, and LGU Plus working with global partners in AR and VR segment. Which strategies would be more successful remains to be seen. From slide 7 through slide 9, we will look through B2C services and content offered by 3 operators. And it appears that all of them provide a similar type of services as of today. SK Telecom is offering AR, VR services as well as cloud-based gaming services by partnering with Microsoft called Xbox. While AR services are focused on sightseeing at traditional palaces and bringing K-pop stars, big animals, or famous game characters, VR service is focused on overseas travel, aiming for users who have planned overseas travel this year but had to cancel their plans due to corona pandemic. SK Telecom is putting bigger focus on cloud streamed gaming services by working directly with Microsoft, who is a leading player in both cloud and gaming. In terms of the data usage per each content segment, as the table on the bottom right corner suggests, the 5G data traffic for VR, video, and gaming increased by 7, 3.6, and 2.7 times respectively as compared to LTE. The major traffic changes have been that strong lift in VR, video streaming, and gaming. I believe that KT and LGU Plus would experience similar level of traffic jump in 5G. Likewise, KT is offering similar VR services and providing OTT and AR-based group video calling service called Naddle. KT also provides cloud game service called Gamebox, but this Gamebox service is somewhat different from SK Telecom and LGU Plus, as KT is developing their own service platform. Based on own platform strategies instead of global partnership, KT could provide game service with lowest service fee by month. Among all local carriers, I believe that LGU Plus is providing more appealing and diversified B2C services and several AR, VR services working on health, teaching, education, and cloud gaming services by partnering with NVIDIA. One point to note about content creation required for 5G leadership would be that LGU Plus is strengthening its global cooperation with external partners such as Qualcomm, Bell Canada, China Telecom, KDDI, and 2 more content providers in Canada and France in initiating Global Extended Reality Content Telco Alliance. This global partnership is a clear differentiator, enabling LG U+ to take the lead in 5G content creation in the longer run. Thinking about 5G data plans offered by 3 local operators, the bottom line is that they offer almost a similar sort of data plans. The plans are mostly comprised of very expensive but unlimited database plans, mostly priced above $80, expensive with 150 gigabyte to 200 gigabyte data plans for $60, and finally reasonably priced but small database plans only providing 8 to 9 gigabyte for under $45. I believe that users feel the need of one more data plan of something like 20 to 30 gigabyte for $50. Considering that one 5G user is on the average consuming 25 to 27 gigabyte data per month for the last couple of months, 20 to 30 gigabyte data plan would be essential for mass market potentially, and it would be key to 5G subscribers growth in Korea in the next couple of quarters. I can say that 70 to 80% of 5G subscribers have been signing up to $80+ plans, so I do think this is successful in terms of 5G market growth to happen for mass market. It needs to happen through a combination of lower cost smartphone and more pricing options between the 9 gigabyte and unlimited. Just briefly on 5G smartphone market in South Korea. It is actually Samsung and LG driven market, more likely Samsung dominated market, I should say. However, if we look at 5G smartphone penetration within total smartphone shipment in South Korea in second quarter last year versus second quarter this year, the penetration in second quarter this year turned out lower than last year, ironically. Last year, South Korea started with only 2 5G models, S10 5G from Samsung and V50 from LG, but huge subsidies for promotions have been provided by operators, cutting down the actual expenditure the consumers had to pay. But since then, the financial support has decreased due to profit-related issues of operators, and COVID-19 also affected the consumer purchase. However, I think that 5G penetration will get increased over time as more reasonably priced 5G smartphones and long-awaited 5G iPhones from Apple are hitting the market. I want to point out 3 proactive recommendations to operators to make more profit and disrupt the long-standing but unchanged market dynamics. First recommendation is to seek for compelling 5G optimized content by obtaining more spectrum. More spectrum would enable operators to provide differentiated services, so each operator is recommended to take a look at their current spectrum allocations and try to secure more spectrum in the upcoming spectrum auction slated in around 2021-2022. Second, operators must come up with more appealing and user-friendlier data plans of providing 20 to 30 gigabyte for around $50 a month. Finally, and third recommendation would be to focus more on B2B applications and enterprise vertical industries, because I suspect that B2B segments would give more feasible business opportunities to operators. And with this, millimeter wave spectrum, which most operators are having problems in applying for B2C applications at the moment, would be more efficiently used for B2B purposes, capitalizing on its differentiated characteristics such as much wider bandwidth, lower latency, higher reliability, and more robust security. We'll touch upon this B2B story in more detail. This is my final slide, and I prepared 4 conclusions. First, 5G subscriptions in South Korea will exceed 10 million by the close of this year. Second, 5G subscriber growth and higher data plans have helped with operators' revenue growth. Third, for better 5G experience, more compelling data plans and contents are recommended. And finally, for this differentiation, operators need to secure more spectrum platform for compelling content and come up with diversified data plans. Thanks for watching my presentation. Have a great day.
Today we will talk about B2B applications of 5G. As you know, B2B applications are kind of slower than the B2C applications of 5G. The main reason for that is that first, the requirements of industries are different. Every industry is different, or the companies are different, so there is no form standard requirements for B2B applications. The second reason is that because it requires lots of IoT sensors, and they are all different, so you don't have too many standardized IoT sensors. Third is the devices. You don't have the terminal devices proper to match the industry's requirements for that. But once they begin to find the way how B2B applications of 5G and advanced ICT could apply to improve their performance and increase the production, once they know that, then the demand will grow exponentially. So today I'll talk about what LG U+ is doing in Korea. This is not covering all the B2B applications of 5G now, but applications that operator in Korea is doing. There are basically three B2B applications. First one is post-pandemic and digital transformations and developing new services. Post-pandemic is the situation now, and everybody is working very hard in this pandemic environment. How to improve the so-called untapped environment, which should be similar to the, I would say, untapped or offline environment we used to have. Let's go to post-pandemic actions. The basic thing is that people are working at home more than ever before. So there are less people working in the company, which means we are short of the human resources. So short of guards to patrol and delivery, and guards to protect the company and things like that. So instead of that, we use robots and drones and other technologies. Well, these are the things that LG U+ is doing now. It's not limited to just this. B2B applications would be millions of that, but these are the four basic LG U+ is providing B2B applications of 5G. U+ is working with 24 companies for patrolling for outdoor factory sites and hospitals and delivery services. They are using more infrared cameras and obstacle detection, IoT sensors, and so on. In this way, they could reduce many cars and the human resources. Second thing they're working on is facial recognition access control. Of course, you can detect whether incoming people are your employees or not. Also, in this pandemic environment, you can check their temperature. And if it is go over some threshold, then you can stop him and check whether they are wearing masks or not. In this way, they could reduce the number of people working in the front door, front gate, and so on. Fall detection sensors. This is not that common, but this is what U-Plus is working with some company. Seniors do fall and they get hurt and they may need immediate medical care. So it could be applied to some hospitals and so on. Now, they don't wear any sensors to fall when they fall. So the hospital is using non-wearable radar sensors to detect seniors who fall, in the hospital or in the corridor and so on. Shared mobility. U-Plus is providing smart lock for shared bicycles. And they can check when and where those bicycles are and how much they are being used by the people, how to charge for the using the bicycles, and this is very widely used in Seoul nowadays. Well, these are 4 basic COVID-19 actions, but I'm sure there are many of them. People are working on this, including how to measure the performance of the people who are working at home and how to do meetings more efficiently with Zoom or whatever. And those are the tools now very rapidly used anywhere in Korea. I think because of this coronavirus, it has accelerated the use of advanced ICT in business at least 3 to 5 years. That's true for the digital transformation as well. The work environment has changed so much, and we all know that the use of advanced ICT in business would really improve the performance and increase the products of them. These are the 4 things that LG U-Plus is working with the company these days. Robotic process automation that automates employees' operations using simple index metric calculations. Now, it can detect so many things what the operators doing in the company, especially in the assembly lines. Chatbots, these are robots who can talk. You can utilize chatbots in the company system and customer center. Actually, thousands of people working at the call center, and they receive millions of calls a day. And I would say 90% of them are very simple questions from customers. And they can be answered by these chatbots. Of course, if there are some difficult thing to handle, then they will switch to human operator so that they can handle more difficult situations. Big data utilization. Now, this big data utilization would be one of the key things that digital transformation would need in the future. Use of AI to sort the big data and creating new services and solving pain points they have. U+ is providing customer behavior analysis, remote sensing, and achieving new efficient customer management system. Nurturing experts. Now, the really thing you need for digital transformation is that the education and training. The most needed education for digital transformation is training or educating the CEO actually, because he's the one who makes all the decisions whether they should go for it or not, how much it will improve, how much he should invest money for that, and so on. So you have to first educate the CEO and the people who will be working for digital transformations. U+ is working with a company, and they are training over 50 personnel this year. Well, new services of 5G. Basically, there are 5 new services U+ is working on. U+ is working with so many different software companies and education providing companies as well. Now, 5G network, I think, is the key infrastructure of the fourth industrial revolutions. Not only B2C, but B2B as well. It gives you VR and AR and all the life-changing informations and educations and experience they're providing. Also B2B, it gives you new digital transformations of company, new educations, new connected car, and then so on. But 5G alone cannot do that. 5G along with cloud system and good AI system, big data, IoT, and I think AI at the edge would give their real good informations to everyone. It gives really the value on demand whenever people need. So I would say 5G network along with this cloud AI, big data, IoT would be a new 5G system that gives you new value to the people. Thank you.
I'm the Executive Director of Strategy Analytics Service Provider Group, providing research to our clients on the technology and business choices facing communication service providers. Today, I'll be presenting on the approaches taken by operators in South Korea to develop the 5G industry ecosystem. I'll provide an overview of the vertical sector priorities in the market and what 5G B2B solutions the operators have focused their early efforts on. I'll also explore how collaboration with customers and ecosystem partners has been key to service development and will be crucial to 5G B2B success. B2B opportunities are a critical part of many operators' 5G growth plans globally, and this is equally true in South Korea. Last year, the government identified a broad range of industries and services that should be prioritised to drive 5G growth. The 5G Plus strategy to realise innovative growth covered both consumer and business markets, covering end-user equipment, network equipment, services, and key vertical markets. These have been taken up by the operators who've so far prioritised a similar set of verticals. Operator 5G B2B priorities cover smart office, smart factory, smart cities and smart harbours and ports, telemedicine and autonomous driving and smart mobility. The government's New Deal to stimulate the South Korean economy post-COVID-19 has also provided a boost to the development of smart factory solutions, raising this up the list of priorities. According to surveys conducted by the Ministry of Science and ICT, the domestic IoT market in South Korea was worth over $8 billion in 2019 across devices, services, networks and platforms. While this doesn't directly map to 5G opportunities, it provides a really useful indication of where enterprises are spending money today on automation, analytics and new applications, so it's a good guide to verticals that have a propensity to adopt 5G. In terms of IoT service revenue, the leading sectors here map closely onto those priority areas in the previous slide, with a strong emphasis on demand within real estate, so smart office and smart cities, in manufacturing and in transportation, so smart mobility and smart harbours and ports. There was a long tail of sectors creating value in IoT there in South Korea, and it's important to note that while it may be tempting to focus on the bigger sectors, there are still significant opportunities further down the list. In Strategy Analytics' own enterprise survey work, conducted in China, France, Germany, the UK and the US, we find that verticals plan to increase IoT spending roughly at similar levels over the next 5 years. We again see above average plans in a number of the verticals I've already mentioned, such as transportation and manufacturing. And again, the need for operators to build capabilities that address the long tail of vertical opportunities. For many operators, the reality is there's no one vertical that holds a key to unlocking 5G B2B growth. In general, we feel that operators should prioritise building expertise that is more horizontal in nature and allows them to meet needs in multiple verticals, rather than trying to find the perfect vertical to play in. These may be platform or network-based horizontal capabilities, but could also be capabilities that will be critical for diverse 5G use cases, such as machine vision, robotics, or VR and AR. When we look at what some of the operators are doing in the South Korean 5G B2B market, for KT, it's prioritised B2B over B2C services. It's competing effectively in the consumer market, as we've already heard, but it views the B2B market as the main driver of 5G value for its business. In order to drive early engagements for 5G, it's built a number of turnkey solution sets to speed up onboarding of customers. For example, the 5G Factory Makers platform, supporting smart factory solutions, and the 5G Mobility Makers platform for connected cars and autonomous vehicle control. It also has a strong focus on co-innovation with industry partners. KT's 5G Open Lab is a key element of that, with a number of priority areas across infrastructure, smart solutions and media. The Open Lab offers cooperative partnership models across the 5G ecosystem, supporting solution development, testing, commercialization, partner matching, and in some cases direct funding of product development. For KT, this is part of its focus on drawing in vertical expertise to build complete 5G solutions for enterprise customers. For LGU+, early 5G B2B initiatives have included the examples shown here: smart drones, smart factories and AI CCTV. These are complex solutions which highlight two key issues for 5G B2B service development. Firstly, while many of these applications share requirements that are supported by 5G benefits such as low latency and high bandwidth, they often also share key features across different verticals. For example, the role of real-time AI-based video analysis in smart factories, CCTV and autonomous drone flight. Secondly, the use cases themselves combine a broad range of capabilities and cannot be brought to market with just one area of competence. For example, the smart drone solutions cover real-time monitoring, autonomous flight, video solutions such as VR video for specific use cases, and cloud-based drone management and control. LGU+ has taken a strong co-creation approach with its enterprise customers to develop and commercialize these solutions. Like a number of operators, it's finding that co-creation sessions with enterprise customers can be important both in terms of strengthening relationships and solving that customer-specific business issues, but also in terms of identifying new market opportunities that can scale within or across verticals. The smart factory domain is one which is generating healthy activity in the South Korean 5G market. It's an area that also highlights the role that operators are taking with their partners in bringing full turnkey solutions to market that help their customers to reduce deployment time and complexity. We're already seeing a good range of commercialized off-the-shelf solutions for 5G services in the smart factory environment, and have listed a few examples here. SK Telecom's 5G AI machine vision solution was one of its first 5G applications launched, allowing manufacturers to identify product defects on the production line. High-resolution multi-angle photos of components are sent to the cloud server via 5G mobile routers, and the server's AI instantly scans a photo to sort out defective products. KT has a similar solution, 5G's Smart Factory Vision, which collects images and analyzes data for AI-based defect inspection, product identification, and dimensional measurement checks. That service was developed in partnership with Cognex, the US machine vision system company. As part of SK Telecom's Metatron IoT platform, it also offers the Metatron Ground View solution for factory equipment. This provides AI-based equipment monitoring and predictive maintenance, taking inputs from 5G smart sensors installed in the factory. And KT is also active in the collaborative robot space, offering smart factory robots to run lower value repetitive tasks such as loading and packing. KT's cobots have been installed at auto parts maker Park One's factory, which it claims have reduced packaging times by around 30%. What's consistent across all of the operators' 5G B2B strategies in South Korea is the role of B2B partnerships to identify market opportunities that meet real business needs and co-develop solutions for commercialization. All the operators have a broad range of partners supporting them in co-creation across healthcare, smart factories, transportation and distribution, machine vision, and many other verticals and use cases. I mentioned KT's partnership with Cognex on machine vision as one example earlier. For SK Telecom, one of its partnerships has been with online food delivery service Huawei Brothers, who are working together to commercialize 5G edge cloud-based robot delivery services. LG U+ has leveraged strong relations with LG Group companies and also has customer co-creation initiatives and partner collaborations such as with Doosan Infracore, who's working with LG U+ to develop unmanned self-operating construction machines. All the operators are looking to partnerships that often have broad applicability across industries, such as the use of robotics in retail, factory automation, healthcare, or hazardous working environments. And some partnerships also have broad applicability in terms of core building blocks for low latency services, such as SK Telecom's work with Mobile Edge X on MEC. So in conclusion, I hope I've emphasised the fact that we believe ecosystem partnerships are critical for 5G B2B solution success. Leveraging the industry expertise of vertical sector specialists and customers will maximise vertical market reach for you and can also create new business opportunities for your customers. Within this work, it's important to keep a focus on horizontal expertise and opportunities, allowing you to develop network and service capabilities that can easily scale across verticals. We've seen that turnkey vertical solutions have been important in accelerating enterprise 5G adoption, and in the medium term will also help to push 5G services down into small and medium-sized businesses. And finally, as noted at the start, operators need to respond to the changing vertical market priorities that have resulted from the COVID-19 pandemic, as businesses look to protect their workforces, drive efficiency gains through automation, and adapt to the changing needs of their customers. The growing relevance of smart factory solutions in South Korea is a good example of this. Thank you for your attention, and please do reach out if you'd like to discuss any of these topics further.
speeding into the fast lane with Globe's 5G technology. It's fast, it's fun, it's wonderful. It's Kim Son-ho approved. With Globe 5G technology, the possibilities are endless. It's about time we inspire the youth to create something meaningful, spark reinventions, and improve the framework of the future. That's what the 5G hackathon is about. Students, professionals, and startups are welcome to join the event by registering using this link. Once accepted, you may enjoy access to the Globe 5G Hackathon HQ, where the enablement workshops will happen. That's 2 weeks worth of fun workshops and mentorship by industry experts from our tech partners. All these to get you to the top. That doesn't end there. Apply what you've learned from the workshops and pitch your idea on how you can use 5G to improve the way we live. The panel will pick the top 30 semi-finalists to join the pitch competition and enjoy exclusive workshops and consultations with mentors. But if you're truly, madly, deeply at the top of your game, you can be chosen as part of the top 10 finalists who will proceed to the Hackathon Finals. 3 of the best pitches will be hailed as winners. What's in it for you? Well, over 500,000 pesos worth of prizes will be given away, plus a chance to be part of the Venture Builders program of 917's Venture Velocity and work directly with Globe 5G Acceleration Lab. This is powered by Globe and Animal Labs by DLSU. Thanks to 5G, we're about to achieve great heights. Click the link and show us what you've got. Get ready to reinvent your power to create change. Register now.
Do you want to make a difference and reinvent your world? 네, 안녕하세요. 여러분, 김선호입니다. 샌드박스 같은 곳에서 경쟁하는 기분을 느껴보고 싶으신가요? 그렇다면 글로브 5G 해카톤에서 진행하는 워크숍과 멘토십을 통해 5G 활용 방법을 만들어보고 여러분의 친구, 동료들과 팀을 만들어서 디지털 시대 속 필리핀의 새롭고 흥미로운 가능성을 열어보세요. Follow your dream. Register now.
Every time the world spins round, reinvent 360. Thinking you gon' miss a good thing, yeah. Show the whole world. Reinvent. Nobody to know something. It's strong. A good time. 1, 2, 3, ready to try. Why don't you watch me do my thing?
Take it to the next level with Globe's fiber, LTE advanced, and 5G mobile connection. Now you have the power to reinvent your world. Globe.
The new mind-blowing Surfer 99? 9 gig? All sites?
For all devices?
Shareable with up to 4 people?
Like my fam? Anywhere they are?
The new mind-blowing Surfer All 99.
Dear Mother, light of the home.
Dad.
Hey, baby! Greetings, Professor Rodolfo.
May I be absolved from
Math Club tomorrow. May Globe Virtual Hangouts kasi.
Go and hang out from wherever you are. Just open the Globe One app, choose an event, and click join.
Watch concerts online.
Woo! Dance together.
We can do quiz nights.
Yo, let's go! If If you allow me,
I promise
To make it up to you.
And repay your kindness tenfold? Truly, your favorite child.
I love you, Dad.
please, babe.
Thank you, sir.
Enjoy your fave events with Glow Prepaid Virtual Hangouts. All together now. Yes!